there, welcome back to my channel, Uniquely Reagan Handcrafted Cards. Today I'm going to be making some post-it pad holders, and I already have cut up a bunch, actually enough for what I'm making, but I want to show you what I'm doing. I'll link in the video description down below where I found this project, but I am using the rest of the paper from the Doodlebug 6x6 Happy Haunting paper pad that I just smashed a video. I'll link it up in the cards for you. I smashed the rest of this paper using to make 12 greeting cards. So I was using the rest of this to make these post-it pad holders. So in order to make these, what we need to do is take a sheet of 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. And you can, from one piece of paper, this is a 110-pound cardstock, you can get 3 of these post-it pad holders from one piece of paper. So what we need to do first is cut the paper to 7.5 on the 11-inch side. And then on the 8.5-inch side, we're going to cut it down to 7 inches first. So this piece here is scrap, and then we're going to cut it to 3.5. So you're cutting it to 7 because you want to cut it in half, but you could just cut it to 3.5 and then move your paper back over and cut it to 3.5 again, and then you will still be left over with this scrap here. I like to just do my cuts as efficiently as possible. And then this is the offcut from the 7.5-inch piece. So this is your third one, and it is already 3.5 inches. So what we need to do is cut this piece to 7.5 inches. So out of the 8.5 by 11-inch piece of paper, we get 3 of these post-it pad holders, and this here is our scraps. Now you can use these pieces of paper to embellish your act as layering pieces for embellishments on your post-it pad holder cover. So don't throw this away just yet, or I'm going to set this to the side. And I'm setting it to the side along with all the other offcuts that I had from everything else that I cut already for the rest of my pieces. So I'm going to set this aside and not toss it. So the next thing we need to do is get out our scoreboard. I'll have these measurements below, and I will link the video where I found this project in the description box. And we need to take our score tool, or you can take your bone folder or something. I don't use this one because it's kind of dull on the top here. You can see that it's kind of dull here, so I use this embossing tool that I got from the dollar store. It works great. So I'm going to score it on the 7.5-inch side. I'm scoring at 3.25 or 3.5. And I'm also going to score at 4 inches. And make sure to get those folds nice and folded nicely. So that creates our post-it pad holder. So I'm going to set this to the side here. Probably what I'll do is I will score all of these at one time and do all of the decorating at one time, and then put all the post-it pads in at one time. It just makes things easier. Now when you're putting in your post-it pads, I just bought a box of post-it pads. You can buy, I like the true version, because you want to try to get 100 sheets on a pad just to fill this up nicely. If you buy generic post-it pads, you may need to change the dimensions here to get the width or the height of your post-it pad holder. This fills in nicely if you have 100 sheets. If you have less than 100 sheets, you just may need to vary your measurements here. So play with it if you're not buying the true 100-sheet post-it pads. So what I do is I just take my ATG gun and I run a strip of double-sided tape along the back here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it down. If you wanted to put some decorative paper behind that, you could. I just put it down into the notepad. And then I have two pieces. This is a 3 1/4 by 3 1/4, and this is 3 inches by 3 inches. And the next thing I'll do is I'll layer these up together here. Let me find one that has a little bit more contrast. Maybe these two here. These are super easy to make, and they're great craft fair projects. There's another style where you could add a pin to it on the side or the top. But if you're trying to smash a whole paper pad or some 12 by 12 paper, this is a really great idea. I'm going to get out my squares and rectangles box here, and I have some pieces that are orange, and I've got a gray, I've got some polka dots on a yellow piece of paper, I've got a scallop border, the inside of that scallop border has kind of a nice effect, a dark burnt orange kind of color, there's a yellow. So I think I'm going to put this on here. Let me find an image and let me see if one of these... I have some tags that I have in my embellishment for fall and Halloween. Trick or treat. Let's see if one of these will work. I'm going to cut the tag part of this off the top. And I'm still going to make it look like a tag, just angle these corners a bit here. This kind of project is a really great use for these little tags here. So hopefully I can smash these because I'll be making about 24 of these little pads. have an ephemera pack or a couple of mixed ephemera packs from a variety of companies. I think I had put these together when I was doing a card kit class last year. And so I've taken all of my Post-it pad holders that I've got the Post-it pad inside, and I decorated with my 2 layers of pattern paper, 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 inch square piece. And then that's just a layering piece on the back, and then a 3 by 3 square pattern paper from this Doodlebug 6 by 6 Happy Haunting pad. If remember, I'm smashing this pad. And so I've taken all of the ephemera and mixed and matched it with, and nothing is glued down yet. So I've mixed it and matched it with some of the pieces here to try to get a nice little grouping. And so this is a frame with absolutely beautiful. And so I'm going to add some of the images that I have in my little ephemera and die cut stamped image pack here and use some of this stuff up. I might switch out some of these pieces with these cute little tags that I still have left over. So and I might add some other little elements to it as I start gluing pieces together. So stick with me as I get these things glued up, and then I'll show you everything at the end here of what it looks like.
Guitar blend with the gentle sound of the waves crashing against the shore. A serene melody weaves through the breeze, creating a soothing rhythm that mirrors the ocean's ebb and flow. Where stress dissolves like footprints in the sand. Where the neon glows, every block tells a tale the whole city knows. Rhythms in the shadows where the cold wind blows. Life's a gamble on these streets, anything goes. Boom Boom bap echoes through the alleys at night. Soulful samples lift the darkness to light. Beat kicks pound like a heartbeat fight. These gritty vibes keep my story in sight. Graffiti on the walls paint the struggle and climb. The clock keeps spinning but I'm owning my time. Words like puzzle pieces fitting tight in the rhyme. Snares punch louder than the city's own chime. Boom bap echoes through the alleys at night. Soulful samples lift the darkness to light. Beat kicks pound like a heartbeat fight. These gritty vibes keep my story in sight. Street lights flicker on this endless trail. Each corner whispers a hero or fail. Smooth flow cutting through the urban scale, where truths are spoken and tales unveil. Boom bap echoes through the alleys at night. Soulful samples lift the darkness to light. Deep kicks pound like a heartbeat fight. These gritty vibes keep my story in sight. Street lights flicker on this endless trail. Each corner whispers a hero or fail. Smooth flow cutting through the urban scale, where truths are spoken and tales unveiled. Boom bap echoes through the alleys at night. Soulful samples lift the darkness to light. Deep kicks pounds like a heartbeat fight. These gritty vibes keep my story in sight.
I have finished putting together my Post-it pad holders, and I have 24 of them. I've got a couple pumpkin themed ones. I'm using all of those embellishments from that mixed embellishment pad paper packs. This is what I have left. I have some shapes that I cut out. I have those left to use on some upcoming Halloween cards. I've got still elements in here, tags and die cuts, things from my Cricut, some stamped images. So just let me run through these and show them to you here. Happy Haunting. I added glued embellishments, epoxy dots to the top of these to cover up the tag holes on these, and that's why I had set them aside. On this one, I added some epoxy dots to the spider eyes, just so it stands out a little bit. This one says, "Witch, please, witch, please." Those that sentiment is from the Sassy's LLC emergency card kit. I've got this one here, "If you've got it, haunt it." Too spook to cute. Too cute to spook. I've got a little owl that I cut out of one of those tags on there. Monster Bash. This is a die cut image, as is, there was a witch here. These are cardboard die cuts, so that's layered up nicely. And that also says, "Witch, please." And this one says, "Spooky." So I layered up the embellishments over little bits and pieces of cardstock that I had left over from the cutouts of these pieces here. So I just cut some shapes, circles, and this one is a rectangle, and I just used the inside of the scalloped rectangle. I had already used the scallop edge, so I just used the inside part of that, the negative piece, to layer up on a piece of cardstock. Here's this one. This is very cute. I should write in "not so spooky" on the top of that. That'd be funny. Trick or treat. I think this stamp set came from a Close to My Heart stamp. Hocus Pocus. I have these here, absolutely beautiful. I might find a ghost to put on that. Hey There Pumpkin. Spooky Halloween Night. I think I'm going to layer this up on these die cut images, die cuts from the pack. Sometimes there's a little kind of Chad piece hanging off of it, and so I might just run my scissor and clip that off. You can see that's gone now. There's one here on this side, so I'm just going to run my scissor along there and just trim that off. Now it's gone. Just to clean it up a little bit. Let me get a piece of foam tape. I'm going to add it to this one here, just to give it something extra. I was adding some glue to some of these just so that it didn't peel away or anything. There we go. That adds a nice something a little extra there. Between these 24 post-it pad holders and the 12 cards that I showed in another video, I'll link it up in the card for you and at the end of the video if you want to see that. I made 24 post-it pad holders and 12 cards. And that was all from the Doodlebug 6x6 Happy Haunting paper pad, and the only thing I had left of any consequence besides a couple of micro pieces I've already tossed out are these 3 items right here. So I might toss that in on something else. I might add a little flag here or there on my post-it pad holders, but pretty much I smashed that 6x6 paper pad. So I made some really cute projects here for my booth at the farmer's market. And that's a nice haul of cards, but even a better haul of these post-it pad holders. There you go. So thanks for joining me. I appreciate you watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you the next time I have a crafty video. If you like this video, please comment, subscribe, and share the video with a crafty friend. Otherwise, we'll see you the next time, and have a great day. Bye.